Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Pass Interference, casual fan commentary for all your sports needs. I'm RJ Bam, that's Alex Leffler. We appreciate y'all being here. Let's kick this shit off, man. I got a question for you.
All right, let's hear it.
If let's say somebody's dating your sister, right?
Yeah.
And you actually have a sister. Let's say somebody's dating your sister, and then you find out that she ends up getting pregnant, and then you find out he leaves her while she's pregnant. How you gonna feel about that?
First of all, I'm one of 7, so...
Well, say the other 6 are not there no more. Say you're the only one.
I'm very protective, so, I would probably be like, dude, you gotta do right. That's your kid, stuff like that. You took the risk of sleeping with her. You know, as a man, you should man up and take care of the kid. Mm-hmm. That's the way I feel.
Yeah. Let's say now, in this scenario, you married, right? You have a wife. Let's say in this scenario, you're married, have a wife, but then you also have the habit of sleeping with your friends' wives, and you have the habit of sleeping with other chicks as well. Can you still say the same thing? Can you still be upset?
I mean, as long as
Or are you still just going to be upset anyway? Because it's your sister and everything else doesn't matter.
It's my sister. Yeah. I mean, when it's
fuck what I'm doing. You messing with my sister right now.
You shouldn't be doing that anyway, you know?
You know what I'm talking about?
What?
I'm talking about Golden Tate and Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, man. Yep, I know, yeah. Oh.
I just saw that story of Golden Tate was like, we're going to have words when I see you.
So he left. As long as he still takes care of the kids, I'd be fine with that. People grow apart. I get that. But, sister and stuff like that, as long as the guy was going to take care of the kid and be involved in the kid's life, that's great. You know?
Yeah, that's all you can hope for.
You know?
Relationships work out or don't work out.
And here's the thing, I come from a split family, so you don't want to mess around and, oh, hey, this is, you don't want to badmouth the other parent, because it should be co-parenting. No matter if you guys don't get along or not, it should still be co-parenting.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck with the kids' perception of stuff.
Yeah.
I know some people that are actually going through that right now, so and it's tough on the kids.
Yeah. It's super hard. And that's the one thing, you have to worry about the kids. It doesn't matter how bad you feel about each other, it's all about the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a weird story, and I was like, I just thought it was funny that it was Golden Tate, because I'm like, hey man, you slept with Russell Wilson's wife, and then now you got shipped out to Detroit. So.
And he's on the Eagles now, isn't he?
He's on the Eagles now?
Yeah, Marvin Jones is the guy in Detroit, other than Galladay, and then Tate went over to the Eagles. But I don't think he's played. He's been hurt.
Yeah. Okay. When did that trade happen?
This past offseason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't pay attention to Golden Tate, apparently.
He's not that great.
I thought he was average at best, so I thought he did pretty well in
He's
Detroit.
He's a good number 2, good number 3. He's the guy.
He did hit good numbers while Megatron was there. Mm-hmm. Take some pressure off of him and stuff. So there's been some trades that have happened in the last in the last week. So in
my past experience, this has been the most trades I've ever seen during the season.
I don't remember there being this many trades once the season started.
And a lot of top tier talent too.
Yeah, a lot of that was people requesting to get the hell out of their camps. But yeah, this has been a lot of trades that have happened.
I saw Michael Bennett got traded to the Cowboys. I'm like, why'd they trade for him? Mm-hmm. Because when Martellus was backing up Witten, when Martellus first came in the league, he hated Witten. And when he left, both of them were kind of bad-mouthing the Cowboys.
Oh, really?
So it's just interesting that they traded for Michael Bennett.
Huh, for his brother?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the Bennett brothers are very outspoken.
Yeah, he used to play here, Michael Bennett, so... So I guess we found out Josh Gordon is definitely out for the rest of the year. And then...
They traded for Sanu.
They got Sanu for, I think, a second-round pick.
Second-rounder.
It's good pick. It was a good trade. They need somebody.
It's good for the Falcons and it's good for the Patriots.
It's good for both because Patriots are...
They're desperate for receivers.
They need a receiver. they're trying to win this year. They have a great shot at winning this year, so they need somebody out there. So it's a good trade. Josh Gordon, unfortunately, is injured, but he'll be up for his 1 year contract will be up, so he can be up for.
I heard when he gets off IR, the Patriots were going to release him.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed.
I mean, he's still going to get his paycheck.
He'll get paid, and then he's up to go wherever he wants to whenever he gets done.
It's unfortunate, man.
It sucks. I wanted to see. I mean, he'll still get a ring though, so technically, right? If they win.
It's up to them, I think.
Yeah.
So.
But I think Son is a great receiver. I think it's a good person to have out there. He's a big dude.
If you look at him and Julio, they both have the exact same body type. They're the same.
Yeah, he's just not as athletic as Julio. Yeah. Julio's just on a whole nother level. And have you seen the videos of him throwing the ball? Dude, he can bomb the ball. Yeah, dude, he used to be a QB. He can bomb it like 60, 70 yards. Dude, it's ridiculous.
Well, I think the Falcons used to run like a wide receiver, like throw it behind the line of scrimmage, and then Sanu would throw it sometimes.
Yeah, he did it with the Falcons. He did it with the Bengals. It'd be funny to see him do it with the Patriots. So yeah, just throw it.
That Patriots run gadget plays every once in a while.
Yeah, they will. Just have Edelman run a deep route or something.
Yeah, there was another trade this week, wasn't there?
It was the Emmanuel Sanders to the Niners for a third and fourth round pick. Dude, I haven't heard the name Emmanuel Sanders in about 4 years.
Since he was on the Steelers?
Since he was... Did he go to the Steelers after... Yeah, he did. After Denver, right?
No, he was on the Steelers, and then
he
been
went to
in
Denver
since then.
He won a Super Bowl with Denver, didn't he? Wasn't he on that team that won on Peyton's last year?
What was that? Demaryius Thomas?
Yes. I think it was him and Sanders, right?
Could have been Sanders. He might have already been there.
That's the last time I heard Sanders' name is when he was playing with Peyton Manning. And then ever since then, I just haven't heard his name at all.
Yeah, he used to be the number 2 behind Antonio Brown when he was on the Steelers.
Oh, wow. Man, that was a long time ago. I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
And then he went after so they traded him a third and fourth round pick. How do you feel about that?
Garoppolo sucks.
I don't know what. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it week in and week out.
Yeah.
I don't trust the Niners.
They're the only other undefeated team.
I know, but like you just like their defense is top notch. I'll give them that. But like I can't trust Garoppolo, even though he's won almost every game that he started. Like he's thrown a bunch of interceptions.
Yeah.
And I don't trust anybody on their offense, even with Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is their best receiver right now.
Right, yeah, he came over and he's probably the best receiver they have now.
Their best offensive weapon. Like, their running backs are fast, but they're not anything to write home about.
Yeah. Just Kittle and Sanders?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not bad, not a bad combo.
I forgot about Kittle. Kittle's the best tight end
in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, between him and Travis Kelce. You give him that. I just don't. I just hadn't heard the name Emmanuel Sanders in a few years, so I was like, is he still the same Emmanuel Sanders that I remember him being? I don't know what his numbers have been like. I haven't paid any attention to him. So.
Yeah. He still gets around 1,000 yards a year. Maybe catch 80 balls.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing special. But, you know, when you have Joe Flacco throwing you the ball, I'd want to get out of Denver, too.
Yeah. Joe Flacco's in Denver? Damn. Denver's really fallen. Dude, they've never really had, ever since Peyton left, they haven't really had a good QB. They tried Osweiler for a while.
They paid Osweiler for what, 2
He was
years?
like, and everyone thought he was going to be good because he was like fucking 7 feet tall. And then his decision making was just terrible.
Yep.
And I don't even know what happened after that.
Did they go with Keenum for a year?
That case Keenum?
I don't know if they did or not. I forget. Denver hasn't really had a quarterback for a while.
Yeah.
They've gone with like rookie quarterbacks and stuff like that.
Even in Peyton's last year, they really didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
So.
They relied on the defense. The defense definitely won them the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning made a couple plays here and there, but nothing special. Yeah, I think Denver's going to rebuild. I think Von Miller's out the door next.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is he getting old?
Yeah. He's lost a step.
He's
His sack numbers are down, but you know, I can see them getting rid of Von or like deciding to part ways with him.
Yeah. You know what's crazy about playing the defensive line? As a defensive lineman, it's like you're playing offense because the offensive linemen are playing defense, right? Isn't that weird?
I mean, you're right. That's only on the line though.
And at least D line, like, you can get sacks. Like, O line is like the most unappreciated position ever. Hey, way to not let the guy sack your quarterback. There's no, like, you don't ever get credit for shit.
Yeah, and
At least in the media, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
At least for, because at least a D lineman, it's like, oh, Khalil Mack got another sack or whatever. At least you're, so no one ever says. And I don't even know any offensive linemen's names. Zero.
I can name all the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, I know a bunch of the offensive linemen's names. Which ones are good, which ones are bad.
Yeah.
But the defensive tackle position is kind of underrated too, because you got all the fat boys who are like, hey, just run stuff.
Yeah.
Like Vince Wilfork. That's all he was good. Like, he would get a couple sacks a year, 5, 6. But, everybody knew who he was. He's in a bunch of commercials still.
Is he?
Farmer Vince Wilfork. And he's a big boy.
Yeah. I wanted to talk to you about that story that I told you about with Miko Grimes, who was a former and a WNBA player turned reporter, married to Brent Grimes, who was a corner in the NFL, played for like the Bucks, the Dolphins, got another team, I can't remember who, but she kind of just became, she has a crazy story, anybody hasn't heard, like, and she can do the story a lot more justice, but she like pretty much became like Brent's manager. And she was, because he was like an undrafted pick, and then he was just like apparently one of the like most freak corners that no one's ever heard about, and like he just never got any media.
There was one year, I think, with the Dolphins, he got a bunch of media hype.
Yeah,
but
that might have been after his like re-sign year when he actually got his first big deal, which was like I think like 13 mil or something like that. But this dude is like a guy who got like made so many Pro Bowls, had like 9 interceptions, had like 5 interceptions in like half the season when they like finally played him. Had like 9 interceptions the next year. Like he had crazy numbers. Just no one ever talked about him. And through like helping like kind of manage his career, she kind of became she got really involved with how the NFL treats their players, how the organizations treat their players. And so I was listening to the podcast with her, and they have a crazy story about, dude, the stuff she was saying was insane. Like, I knew, like, the NFL was a corporation where they only cared about the bottom line. They want more money or whatever. But, like, it went so deep, like, to the point where she was saying the only person that's really involved with the higher ups on the team is like the quarterback, because he's on every play. And so like she was saying, like, for example, when she was on the Dolphins, she was like, Tannehill was a terrible quarterback, but he had a position that he played for a long time because he was like a company man. And then there was who was that one receiver that he had? Hartline, right? Him and Brett Hartline like had like a really good connection. Like he was probably their best receiver at the time.
That's when the Dolphins were bad too.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I mean, I don't know when they haven't been good since Marino days, I think. But like, he was like their best receiver, and then Brett came up to like a contract year, and then all of a sudden, like, they were telling Tannehill, don't throw the ball to Brett, don't throw him to Brett, no Hartline this year. Like, so he would throw him like maybe once, twice a game, stuff like that. His numbers dropped significantly, so they could re-sign him for cheaper and stuff like that. Like, I've heard stories about like them pulling linemen on like a 3rd and 9 when you're gonna get an easy sack or something like that. Like anything that they can do to like deteriorate you from.
They necessarily don't do that with the guys that already make a bunch of money.
Yeah, right. Like somebody who's already
like Khalil Mack, they're not going to do that.
Right. Yeah.
But like a guy who's borderline, like, oh crap, like we don't want him to get this bonus.
Right.
Like let's not play him.
Yeah.
Like take him out a couple plays,
and
then so
he won't reach his
76% defensive played snaps or whatever.
Right.
Like I've always thought about that and being like, yeah, that's probably happening in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Pat McAfee the other day, like him explaining, he's like, this dude was better than the other dude, but for, ego-driven reasons, we traded the better dude away because the other guy made more money.
Yeah.
And it's like, wouldn't you want to keep the younger, cheaper, better guy rather than the older guy?
Yeah.
You know?
It's weird. And then, like, I've heard GMs they'll go through the draft and then they'll get somebody undrafted that's better than somebody they picked up in the draft, but they refuse to play that guy. They'll play the guy that they drafted, even though he's not going to do as well because they don't want to look like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like somebody that they personally didn't choose is going to be better than the person that they did choose, so they'll just bench him. That's what happened to Brent for a long time. Grimes, he was just sat on the bench behind people that he was better than because they just didn't want to play him. And when they did play him, they were telling him, don't do any of that flashy athletic shit. Just let him catch the ball and tackle him. Let him catch the ball and tackle him. Don't go for interceptions. And so he was listening to that for a while because he was like, yo, my job is on the line. And then one year, the year that he had like a breakout year, all the other corners were injured that year. So they, like, no matter what he did, like, they can't not play him because he's like the only one available. There's no backup sitting on the bench. So, and his girl was like, in the first half of the game, of that first game where everyone was injured, he was like listening to him, and she was like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing? You should be going after it." And he's like, "They told me not to." And she's like, "What are they gonna do? There's no one else to play. You're gonna play." And so he just went after it and got like 2 interceptions that game, and then she started getting in on what the fuck was going on.
Why would defenses not want to pick the ball?
No.
Like what?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, just tackle the receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe because they're trying to limit his contract?
Probably. Yeah, he probably had incentives or something. Who knows? But...
The NFL is definitely headed towards the lockout.
Yeah.
I think the contract's up next year, but the lockout's coming. And a lot of people in the NFL Players Association have already told players, like, hey, you better start saving
that
money. Yeah, because we're probably not going to play next year. Which is true.
Yeah. I mean, they
because things need to change with NFL contracts.
Didn't they just have a lockout not that long ago?
Yeah, they had
maybe 5 years ago?
Yeah, and the season, they ended up agreeing, and then the season got pushed back. The start time got pushed back 2 weeks. Yeah. That's why you saw, like, the Super Bowl at the end of February.
Yeah.
So, but I think they didn't play the Pro Bowl that year. They played the Pro Bowl after the Super Bowl.
Also, who gives a shit about the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
That was another story from Miko. She was saying that, like, because Brent he went to multiple Pro Bowls and stuff, and they went to Dion, and Dion, like, was one of the captains of the team or whatever, and, like, before the Pro Bowl, he was, like, giving him dap and stuff. He's like, "Oh, man, you're doing so good. You're crazy out there. I've never seen anybody do some stuff like that you have." And then, like, he's like, "Oh, I'm drafting you first, bro." And then, like, the draft came, and he didn't pick him at all. And then they saw him again, like, in the elevator after that, and then he was, like, trying to dap him up again. He's like, "Oh, man." And then Miko stepped in and was like, "What the fuck happened? I thought you were going to draft us." And he's like, "I got these guys that I have to draft, you know what I mean? Like, they're part of the crew, and they've always been there, so I have to draft them." And it just keeps going on and on.
I mean, it is. It's a popularity contest.
It is, yeah.
You know, it's like high school all over again. Like,
and, like, since the quarter... Like, it's interesting because, like, the only people that I see get those, like, reporter positions or analyst positions, for the most part, are QBs.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a tight end will get something.
Jason Garrett? Or no, sorry, it's Jason Witten.
Witten, or Shannon Sharp.
There's the one good thing about playing for the Cowboys is that you're going to have a job somewhere within football.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you think about it, like Michael Irvin, Jimmy Johnson, like, they all have desk jobs, analyst jobs. Yeah. Daryl Moose Johnson, the old fullback that used to block for Emmitt Smith, has a gig. He had one for Fox a while back ago. But typically, you're going to be working somewhere within the NFL.
Yeah.
And then Tony Siragusa, I don't know if you remember him.
I don't know who that is.
He used to be on the Ravens defense. He was a defensive tackle. Goose.
That's why I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but he used to do sideline reporting for the morning games.
Oh, really?
Fox, yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I remember she was saying something about Derek Carr, like when the cap stuff was going on, and, like, Carr's like a company man or whatever, and they were in the locker room before the game. He was, like, telling them, and it almost came to blows. Like, in the locker room, he was telling everybody, "Yo, we standing for the flag." And he was one of the only quarterbacks that had, like, a pretty much all black line to protect him. Everyone else, the O line is all white on pretty much every team, and he had like an almost all black O line, and he was like, "Yo, we standing for the flag. We're not gonna do this kneeling shit." And then the game started, and they were just like, "Okay." And then he got smashed so many times that game.
I remember hearing about that afterwards, about how they probably just let him go through
Yeah.
because of what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah.
And she was also saying like there's a lot of players that that know about all the shit that's going on, but they can't say anything
Yep.
because their job is on the line. So they'll like. So she was doing all the reporting for them because she was like when Brent was on the Dolphins, she was doing all the Dolphins reporting for him, and then like. So they were like, yo, you can say bad, like they were telling Brent to tell her, they're like, yo, you can say anything bad about everybody you want on the team, just not Tannehill. So stop talking about Tannehill. Don't say anything bad about Tannehill. And she was going off on Tannehill.
Tannehill was trash.
He's trash, yeah, 100% trash.
But he's the starting quarterback.
He's the starting quarterback. He's the company man. He'll do anything they want because he wants to keep playing. So he's like, yeah, whatever you want, I'll just keep playing.
Well, I feel like a lot of the reasons why those quarterbacks get backup gigs and last in the NFL for so long.
Yeah.
Like the ones that, like Tannehill, he was the backup for the Titans. Now he's the starter for the Titans because Mariota is doing bad.
Yeah.
But you get a Vince Young.
Yeah.
Look at Vince Young. He
in and out in the NFL. And he had such hype coming in. He had wasn't he the Heisman winner out of Texas? Did he? I know he won the national championship that year.
I think Reggie Bush won it one year, and then Matt Leinart won it the other. Matt Leinart's another one. He kind of stuck around a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I mean,
did Leinart come out of USC?
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the year Texas beat him. Dude, that game was crazy. But no, Vince Young, he didn't really last that long. These guys, if you're good, I guess if you're a good company man, they're more likely to keep you and be the backup. Like you see a guy like Nick Foles, he goes to the Eagles, became the starter, went to the Rams, went to another team, and then went back to the Eagles, and then now he's back with the Jaguars.
Yeah,
it's a lot of movement, but obviously people like
still
Nick
getting
Foles.
Paid, yeah.
So
wasn't Vince Young supposed to beat Cam Newton before Cam Newton?
Supposedly, but he had a lot of accuracy problems.
Yeah,
and he was also running for his life.
That's true. I remember him running a lot in the NCAA BCS bowl game.
Yeah. Speaking of running, what do you think about Lamar Jackson?
He's
top 5 in rushing.
He has more rushing than half the NFL teams.
Yeah, he's got.
I think it's good because like he's not denying his rushing ability, so he's not only sitting in the pocket trying to prove that he can throw the ball. So this is what I thought was going to happen. I thought at some point he was going to get like a well balance between staying in the pocket and running, and I think he's slowly figuring that out. But when he takes off, man, he's got so many shake and bake moves. Like he's just making people miss left and right.
Okay, so did you hear what Pete Carroll said about him?
No, what did he say?
And Pete Carroll knows what fast is. He's he's faster than what he looks like on film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In person, and he knows what fast looks like. He coached
Reggie Bush.
He coached all these speedsters. He doesn't look fast on film, but he's fast.
Yeah.
And I wasn't prepared for that. He came out and admitted that.
He ran all over Seattle.
Yeah.
At Seattle. Yeah.
But no, I can see the Ravens doing an offense where the running, I feel bad for the running back, but I don't think the running back's going to get many carries. Why not just call a pass and if the pass isn't there, Lamar can just take off.
Yeah.
I mean, your quarterback is going to take probably more hits, but...
That's the only thing I'm worried about because I don't want him to take a lot of hits.
Do you think, has he been running out of bounds a lot, though? Go for 10 yards, make a juke, don't get really hit.
I haven't seen him run out of bounds too often.
Does he slide?
Not like Russell. I've seen him get tackled and stuff.
Because as long as he's doing this and not taking the big hits,
that's
he should be fine.
Don't be Cam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cam took a lot of big hits and just played injured.
Yeah.
If he can be a little bit more like Russell, I would. What?
No. I saw a timer.
Oh, no. I don't know what that is. But yeah, I would, if I was him, I would try to slide. Or at least try to avoid the big hits. He does a lot of shake and bake stuff that a lot of QBs don't do. So, in that sense, he's making people miss, but in that sense, he's also staying on his feet more. So, all it takes is one bad hit.
How long do you think the Chiefs are going to keep Mahomes out? Or what would you suggest the Chiefs?
Well, I mean, the Chiefs have a winning record right now. So I'm not, like, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm looking towards playoffs. Everything's always about the playoffs. So it's like, if I can keep him out and healthy until he's fully recovered, even if I lose 2 games, like, I'm fine.
Their division's doing bad right now,
Yeah.
so they're not really in danger.
Exactly.
I mean, I think they're probably going to lose to the Packers this week.
Yeah.
But I'd keep him out. Let him heal up, strengthen the knee because...
Yeah, at least, I want to say at least 3 weeks. At least sit him out 3 weeks, let him... Because, like, it's... Like
There's
you
no
said
rush.
last week, there's absolutely no rush to come back. And also, like, something popping out is not a good thing. So it's like, we need to make sure that thing stays glued on.
Yeah. It's just going to happen more and more.
Exactly, yeah. Didn't you say it happened to your brother? He popped his shoulder?
Yeah, it's his shoulder. He
Yeah.
dislocated his shoulder.
And then it got dislocated multiple times
And
after
then
that.
while you're sleeping, your shoulder would dislocate because,
Yeah.
some people sleep with their arms up
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that. So it just continuously pop out. And then he had surgery on it. And then he had to go back in and have another surgery.
Yeah.
But the knee, I mean, there's a lot of lick. It probably would have been better if he did. Right? I mean, because then at least it would be like a fix. Like,
Yeah, in the long term for sure. I think in the short term, not as much. 'Cause I don't think he would be back as quickly.
Yeah.
Like if he actually just tore like a ACL, MCL, LCL, whatever. Any one of those, like they could.
Do you think in the off season he has surgery to go probably get it cleaned up and see if anything's
Yeah,
wrong?
'cause I don't think
or
they'll-
like have like a little thing.
I'm sure something probably more than they're releasing
Yeah.
happen, and so I'm sure in the off season he'll probably just like have that thing wrapped every game that he plays and whatever. I wonder how it's gonna affect.
What worst case scenario? It happens again and he tears his ACL late in the year
Yeah.
to where you lose him all next year.
Right. That's what you don't want.
And then it could potentially mess with his contract too, because
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about a guy who's looking at a $40 million,
Yeah.
$45 million a year check.
Yeah. How fast was it? I think AP came back in like what?
6 months.
God damn, that's fast.
Yeah,
But-
and he rushed for 2,000 yards
Yeah,
that year.
he's like just 9 yards shy of like Dickerson's record. But then that's incredibly fast to come back from ACL. But he was also like a maniac where he's like, yo, I'm gonna fucking come back. But knee injuries are not that bad this year anymore as they used to be. It used to be like a
year.
or it used to
Before
be
you were
like a
back to
career
normal.
ender back in the day.
Yeah. It's the same thing with like Tommy John now in baseball.
Yeah.
The Tommy John used to like your career's over, and
Right.
then now like you can come back from it.
Yeah.
It still makes it difficult.
That's what happened to Roethlisberger, isn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah, he didn't even get hit when he went out. He just threw the ball and something popped in his elbow. But so the Chiefs are playing Packers this week.
I think it's Sunday night game.
Is it the Sunday night game? Yeah. And there's a quarterback that is starting to get some MVP numbers now. Started out a little slow, but now it's like his passer ratings up there. He's like almost 70% completion rating.
Talking about Rodgers?
Talking about Rodgers.
He had 6 touchdown passes last
In one
week.
game, yeah. I mean, that definitely helps to
Yeah.
bring his touchdown numbers up.
Yeah.
We talked about Rodgers before and how is he still the same Rodgers? Is he not? I think he's proven that he is, but
It's different.
it is different.
It's I don't know. He has no name receivers. Like
That
Adams
and
has
that
been
part
out.
sucks. The biggest thing with Rodgers though that I can see is that it seems like Green Bay goes, okay, make something happen. Like they you know what I mean? Like they don't have a system like New England does, where say if Tom Brady goes down, like something bad happens to Tom Brady, they can bring in a backup and he can follow the system and they'll still be successful.
What I've noticed with Rodgers this year is he's been dumping the ball off a lot more to the running back in the flats.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Jones is like become his favorite target.
Thank God he's on my team.
No, but like that, like if you watch game film and stuff like that, he dumps it down into the flats a lot more than throwing those deep passes that he used to throw.
Yeah.
I mean, he still does that, but it seems like he dumps it off a little bit more.
Yeah. I think I saw him throw like a 45-yarder this year. That was the biggest pass I've seen him throw.
Are you talking about the touchdown in the first game to Jimmy Graham, where he just threw it up?
Mm-mm.
That was only.
I forgot about that one. It was I think it was last week when one of his 6 touchdowns. But yeah, I haven't seen him be like the deep ball Hail Mary king in a while.
You gonna watch the Monday night game?
That's the Pats game, right? That's not the Pats game. Which one? What game is it?
It's the Steelers and the Dolphins.
Oh, that's a terrible game. Jesus.
Yeah.
Steelers are playing their 3rd string QB, aren't they? Didn't Roethlisberger and Rudolph go out?
I think Rudolph was back.
Is he back?
Week.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a horrible game. Why would they even make that the Monday night game? I mean, granted, like that was set in schedule before.
It was
but
set.
Like, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
and then Roethlisberger. You think that they'd have?
Do you think this will be the worst Monday night game in history?
I don't know who's gonna watch. I mean, Dolphins fans will watch it. Steelers fans, like there are a lot of.
This
Steelers
might be the
fans.
Dolphins' first and only win of the season.
I can actually. The Dolphins have been playing a little bit better. They've been playing in closer games. Like
Yeah.
they actually almost beat Buffalo last week.
Is it? Yeah, I saw that. Is it also? Is it still Fitzpatrick that's throwing the ball?
Dude, it's so weird. If Fitzpatrick gets off to a bad start, they'll bring Rosen in, or they'll start Rosen, and then Rosen throws like 2 picks, and then they bring Fitzpatrick in. It's like, why don't you just stick with one?
Yeah. And then the Dolphins have also traded away some of their players for picks.
Mm-hmm.
So now, yeah, I don't. It's just a horrible game all the way around. I can't think of the only person I can think of who might do well in that game is like Juju.
And like Devin Bush,
Yeah.
the rookie linebacker for the Steelers. He's a stud. But yeah, I looked at it and I was like, "There's no way
Horrible
that's
game.
the Monday night
Yeah,
game." Like everybody before the season knew the Dolphins were going to be trash, and then they traded away.
They've
all
been
their
trash for a
players.
while now.
Yeah, it's a bad game.
Yeah.
I don't know what the NFL was thinking.
Well, they were probably thinking that the
Well-
Steelers were gonna shine and Roethlisberger was gonna throw like 6 TDs.
They're like, hey, let's only let the NFL fanatics, watch 2 games this week.
Yeah.
Let's schedule the Dolphins.
They probably thought Antonio Brown was gonna go off. They probably he was already traded last year, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was already off the
He
team.
was already off the team by the time the schedule was made.
Yeah. Maybe the NFL thought that Rosen was going to be a decent quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeesh.
Yeah, it's a bad game.
That's rough. That's a game that I will not be watching.
So Monday night plans.
Yeah.
What do you
I don't. Yeah, I don't even think. I don't even have anybody playing that game anyway. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, what a terrible Monday night game.
I mean,
And it's all both East Coast teams too. So
yeah,
who's
you could do Vegas on that bet. I mean, you'll get the gamblers in on that game. I would not touch that game, but depends on what the spread is.
Oh, dude. So when gambling becomes legal, and then I'm sure they'll eventually bring a team to Vegas. It's gonna be interesting because, like, I forget what game it was last. It was last week. It was the Rams game. I think Gurley took a knee to run their game out or something like that.
Oh, that was last year.
That was last year.
Yeah,
Okay,
he had a touchdown and he went down.
Yeah, and
Which is smart because it ran the rest of the clock.
it'll run the rest of the clock out.
Yeah.
And I think the spread was like 2 points in that game, right? And so something like that won't happen once gambling becomes legal because it's like, yo, at least run through the spread, like get the win, because I think they won by like a point or something like that.
Yeah, no, it lost people a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And so when gambling becomes legal and
You're still going to see stuff like that. That's smart for him to do that. Like, I get it, but as a gambler, like, you're looking at that and be like,
but like the people that will be gambling are not just going to be casual people anymore. It's going to be like there's going to be a lot more money thrown in from like, I don't know, corporate, whatever. Like a lot of big money is going to be thrown around, and I think players are going to be told not to do shit like that anymore. It's gonna be weird how it affects the game. I think.
That could be an interesting point. No, as far as the Raiders, they're moving to Vegas, but
Yeah.
you can't gamble on Raiders games. That's the stipulation that's going to happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Vegas is, they don't want players to bet and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
have a Pete Rose thing where you're betting on your own team.
Yeah. I mean, they can probably send somebody else to go bet.
They'll still find out though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, the Raiders moving to Vegas. That's gonna be. It's gonna be weird to see how.
Are they still gonna be the Raiders?
How much of a crowd they draw,
Yeah.
Because Vegas, there's people.
Are they building them a stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think they're gonna play at UNLV.
UNLV?
Yeah, but I think they do have a stadium coming up. Vegas just got a hockey team. Hockey team won the Stanley Cup or almost won the Stanley Cup their first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas.
I'm actually surprised Vegas didn't have a team earlier, already.
They do have a lot of people that live there, but then you also get the people going into Vegas. And then, Raiders fans, that just gives them another reason to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
They can gamble and then go watch the Raiders game.
Yeah.
So, I think it'll draw...
Are they going to be able to keep that Raiders name? Do you know?
Yeah.
They are going to stay the Vegas Raiders?
Yeah.
Should be like the Vegas Gamblers. Something.
No, the Raiders... It's one of the more historic franchises in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, they've never really had a home. They started off in Oakland, went to LA, went back to Oakland, now they're going to Vegas. So, I think it'll be good. It'll be good for the NFL.
Yeah, it's always weird when teams shift around and stuff. Because, like the Rams, they used to be LA, St. Louis.
Back to
Back
LA.
to LA.
And then the Cardinals used to play in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Way, way back in the day.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, it's always weird when they, change names or are forced to change names. Like when the Hornets went to New Orleans. And then it was the Charlotte Bobcats.
Well, that year that Hurricane Katrina hit, they played in Oklahoma City for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then that allowed the Supersonics to move, but then Seattle said, "Hey, we're keeping our team name," in hopes that they get another franchise.
Right. Or close.
Yeah. But then you got teams like the Lakers that kept their name when they were up in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So it's like LA Lakers. There's no lakes around here.
There's 0 lakes, yeah. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
And also a lot of Lakers fans, they count certain championships from back in the day and stuff too.
But when Houston, the Oilers moved to Tennessee, they changed the name to the Titans, I think, a couple years later. And then the Houston got a new franchise and they became the Texans. Because I think the Oilers are still affiliated somewhat with the Titans organization.
Are they?
I think. Because otherwise, wouldn't you just name them the Houston Oilers again?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Weird. Want to talk some NBA?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Did you see Russ and Harden already getting into it?
Yeah, I saw them dancing together before the game and then yelling at each other by halftime.
But that's good. It's good that they're communicating, because I think that if it was Harden and Paul, you wouldn't see that.
Oh,
it would be,
yeah.
and it would be worse.
Yeah.
Because at least they are friends and they're just trying to communicate. They almost won the game. I think they lost by 6 points.
Yeah.
And Harden was 2 for 17.
Yeah. Wow. It was that bad?
Yeah, he had 19 points.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you think he got his points?
All free throws?
Yeah.
All free throws?
Yeah.
Even in that one that I saw a highlight from, was it yesterday's game or something like that, where he was trying to draw a foul from the 3, jumped into the guy, didn't get the call, got mad, slammed the ball against the ground, hit himself in the face. That's the shit that I hate, and he does it more than anybody, I think, where he's trying to draw fouls at the 3-point line. And I'm just if you're shooting a 3, shoot the 3. Shoot to make the 3, don't shoot to draw the foul. And that's one of the things that I hate about how the NBA shifted, is that. I've seen Steph do it a few times where it's you know Steph Curry's shot when he's trying to make the shot. He's got the same rhythm, the same flow every single time. And all of a sudden you'll see him like kick his leg way the fuck out and we're like, what the fuck is this? That's not how you shoot. And it's like just to try to draw fouls.
But then you also have
the thing that I hate because the point guard position has become super relevant in the last, I don't know, 8 years or so. Which I'm happy about because I was a guard when I played. So that's like one of my favorite positions to watch. But when I see like a point guard have single digit assists and almost triple digit points, I'm like, you're not even you're not facilitating the ball. Like, I understand that someone's got to score.
We're talking about like Kyrie. Kyrie dropped 50.
50, they lost the game. But I mean, and I think it was like the highest debut for any Nets player ever.
Well, it depends on what kind of. I think there's two different types of point guards now.
There are. There's the Steve Nashes are not there anymore.
Yeah. Your point guard is facilitating the offense, but they're also looking for their own shot.
But can I get 10 Can I get 10 assists? Can I get at least, if you're gonna get double digit points, let me get double digit passes.
I'm surprised Westbrook is still rebounding the ball. He's already got 2 triple doubles.
Oh yeah, he jumped Magic Johnson now.
He had like 16 rebounds the other night. I'm like, how is he still getting rebounds?
Yeah, who else is on that team that's not getting rebounds?
Capella.
Yeah.
Harden gets a lot of rebounds though too.
Yeah.
I still don't know what to make of them. The Clippers almost lost last night to a trash ass team.
Sure, but PG's not playing.
Yeah.
They did beat the Lakers, and Paul George is on the bench the whole time. Pat Bev fouled out too.
LeBron was too hesitant.
Yeah.
He was trying to pass the ball to AD a little too much. And
They're
then
doing their pick and roll.
That.
Yeah. Him and AD running the pick and roll is kind of interesting. Because whether you stick on LeBron or you switch to AD, there's always there's always going to be a mismatch. So and then you got AD who can just shoot from the outside.
Danny Green dropped 29 points and they lost though.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because he's kind of the player that they're not really paying attention to on that team.
Yeah.
But
like you get 29 points from Danny Green.
You should be destroying the team.
You should win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been what's it been, a week? A week of NBA so far? If that?
It'll be a week like on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I think the season picked up on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
A little bit earlier this year. Usually it's around the Halloween, but Halloween's coming up.
I dropped a cap. I like. So, some players that have been looking pretty good, like in the first few games. Trae Young's been looking really good.
Luka Doncic.
Luka's been looking real nice. Markel's been strong again.
I saw that he's been actually getting run.
Yeah.
Did he find a shot? Has Ben Simmons hit a 3 yet?
He hit one, I think.
Was that during preseason?
I thought he hit another. Either way, when I was watching the Philly Celtics game, and it was a good game. I didn't watch the whole thing. I saw part of it when I was at the bar.
How'd Kemba look?
He looked good. He looked like he was fitting in with the system really well, better than Kyrie would.
And then Tatum and Brown were doing their thing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Tatum to just be the superstar that I think he's gonna be. That guy just keeps getting better and better, and I think we're gonna see a breakout year for him, like this year, next year.
Yeah. Karl Anthony Towns has been playing good too.
Yeah.
Which is surprising. He looks more aggressive. He's like, damn, Jimmy was right.
And then Clay's not supposed to play at all this year, is what I heard from I think Kerr saying that.
I've heard that they're like, if they make playoffs, like he could come back, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, let the guy get healthy.
Yeah, let him.
You gave him a new contract.
Yeah.
Let him get healthy.
Yeah.
Don't rush him. Like,
don't be stupid
like
with
that.
it.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of teams do that. Like, they rush people back.
They do.
Not thinking long term.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like at this point, you gotta look at like people like D Rose and stuff and be like, yo, we don't want to fuck up somebody's career like we did with D Rose. Like, yeah, that guy just more injuries than anybody I've ever seen.
He got run into the ground.
Yeah. I mean, granted, his style of play was kind of...
It led to it.
It led to it a little bit, like at least initially. And then after the first injury, it was just like injury after injury after injury. So, and that's why I was worried about Zion, because he has that crazy explosive style like a D Rose had, but he's just weighs like 200 pounds more than D Rose. So,
I think we've talked about this
Yeah.
before on the podcast about like how like he does need to cut.
Yeah.
Because long term it's not going to be working. Your knees are going to be garbage.
Yeah, and it's like you have 3 knee injuries in 3 years. That's not a good sign. Granted, you're 19, so you should be able to come back from it, but that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So, definitely, like you're not going to change the way you play, but at least you can be lighter.
You said Danny said that he looked like he was like
300.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, he is like 6, whatever, 8 or 6'6" or whatever the fuck he is.
6'7", 6'8", something like
Yeah.
that. 6'6". Yeah,
It's a big person.
Yeah.
It's a huge person. And like, if he looks chunky on TV, I'm sure he just looks massive in real life. So, there's a player. Did you hear about this dude, DeAndre Ayton?
Dude, so what happened with that? I saw a little thing come
Is he
up.
on the Knicks?
No, he's on the Phoenix Suns. He got drafted by the
He got
Suns.
drafted. He didn't get drafted by the Knicks?
What did he get popped for? He got suspended 25 games.
25 games for a diuretic. So,
Was he taking Jack 3D?
dude, yeah. Okay, first of all, I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was. I was like,
You don't
who?
know who John?
No, I was like,
he was
who?
the number 1 pick last year.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't watch any basketball last year, apparently. I was like, who the fuck is DeAndre Ayton?
He's good. He's young. He should be.
He
good.
should be young if he was drafted last year. And then I was like, the only DeAndre I know is DeAndre Jordan. I was like, who's DeAndre Ayton? And then I saw he was popped for a diuretic and 25 game suspension, and I was like, the NBA tests for stuff I didn't even know the NBA did any testing.
They test for certain stuff, and some of the certain diuretics have what's banned by the NBA, so you
Yeah.
have to watch what you're putting in your body.
The only thing that I know, like most people that I know that use a diuretic are when they're like trying to cut.
But also diuretics, they use diuretics to mask some
stuff.
of,
Yeah.
you know, so they're trying to flush their system and everything like
Yeah.
that. So that could be the reason why.
But
it's-
like, what can you take that would help you in basketball? Because basketball is such a skill game for the most part. I mean, there's some freak athleticism for sure, but like it's mostly a skill game. So what are you taking that can help you with the game of basketball? Or what position does he play, first of all?
Center.
Oh, he's a big man.
He's
Okay.
a big man. He can shoot the 3. He can dribble.
Okay.
And he's got decent defense.
Okay. So maybe he's just trying to get stronger in the paint.
If you look at his body, like he looks like a
Massive
like,
dude.
He's gonna be a good NBA player.
Yeah.
Like he's not big, but like he's cut and stuff like that. So he could have.
Is he kind of like a what's his name that's on the Lakers now?
He kind of looks like Anthony Davis,
Oh, okay.
just a little bit more built, I guess.
Does he look like who am I talking about?
Mohamed Bamba,
No, the Superman dunker.
Aaron Gordon,
No, literally he wore a Superman cape and dunked back in the day.
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. Does he look like Dwight Howard? Is he built like him?
Small, a little
Little
bit.
smaller than him?
He is slight like that.
I mean, he's
but
young, though.
Yeah. He can definitely put some muscle on.
Yeah. So you think that's what it was? He was just trying to get bigger for his position?
It could be. But like baseball's a skill position. Barry Bonds was taking steroids and stuff like that. He was probably the best skill player in Major League Baseball, and then he took steroids, and all of a sudden he was hitting, 30,
But if you're
40
but
home
if you're
runs to 60.
sure, yeah. I mean, a lot of baseball is just timing
Yeah.
and like being able to have good hand-eye coordination and stuff. But if you can take some steroids and be way stronger and your bat swings faster,
The ball goes 50 extra feet. That's
Yeah.
the difference between warning track and home run.
yeah.
Basketball.
But then they took the steroids out of baseball and that made it way worse.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, just leave that in there.
Basketball, I don't know exactly what, but they do test in basketball. They definitely don't test for marijuana.
Didn't even know they tested. That's the thing.
They definitely don't test for marijuana because pretty sure 80% of the NBA smokes.
Yeah. Pretty sure 100% of the NBA smokes. Pretty sure 100% of all sports in general smoke.
Yeah.
I know that there's steroids in all sports. That's just how it is. For the most part, there's some, like, I remember when Seattle got the most pops for PEDs because everybody was taking Adderall. But, like, for the most part, it's like, if you get injured and you want to do a cycle of something and come back stronger or, like, come back healthy faster, I think they should definitely allow that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me go off to Germany and find Kobe Bryant's guy and let me come back. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. Like, let me fix my knee. But, like, yeah, I didn't even know that they tested in basketball because I didn't think anybody was taking anything in basketball.
Yeah. You're allowed to take Adderall in the NFL. You just
Now
have
they
to,
changed it?
No, you just have to have
Prescription
before you went to the NFL. So
Oh.
if you were already taking
You're like,
it,
yo, I
got
fucking-
ADD.
Yeah, I have ADHD.
like-
I have to.
yeah. So
man, that's weird.
yeah, certain people are allowed to take it. But what the Seahawks were doing, like none of them had a prescription.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
yeah. It's like back in the day when people in the UFC they had like, they were tested for low test, and so they allowed them to take testosterone, to get them to a normalized level, and then so that was okay. But then people were just like going like 4 or 5 times the normal amount.
But see, with fighting, like you say, the testosterone, you can drop your T levels.
Like you mean like before your test?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that way you're normal, but then you can add extra.
Yeah.
After the test.
Right. Yeah.
As long as you don't.
And that's the thing. That's what everybody
But
was
here's the
doing.
thing. Like, this. Like, you take too much, you get dependent on it. Like, if you're not cycling on and off, like, then you ruin your ability to create your own testosterone to where you have to rely on taking all
you
this
definitely have to
testosterone.
do it properly.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I also do know with testosterone stuff is like, you only have to worry about I guess if you're a professional athlete, it's a little different because there is testing for you, so you have to come off. But you only have to worry about that stuff if you come off. You just stay on that thing for life and you're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you want to spend the extra money?
They got all the money. They have all the money. They don't need to worry about money. And testosterone is one of the cheapest things that you can get. But yeah, they're finding wild ways to like get testosterone now. For a while they were doing it from like wild yams, and now they're just finding new, like every single time it's like everyone's like trying to, you have like one side that you have the scientists to help you take the stuff and not get caught, and then you have the other side that has the scientists to help try to catch you. And they're just playing a game of like who can get ahead of the other.
What was it, like deer antler spray that
Yeah,
they were
that shit
doing in the
didn't
NFL?
do nothing.
Like,
Yeah.
Ray Lewis got popped for it. I
Yeah.
think, or like, I'm a big deer antler guy.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, everyone's gonna get popped for something at some like. I don't know. Even back in the day when baseball players they used to like take cocaine in the middle of fucking, while they're in the dugout and stuff.
All right, I'm ready, guys.
Yeah, like it's only gonna last me 2 minutes. Let me get up. I'm on deck right now.
All right, my attention is top notch.
Yeah, that's for sure. Check this thing.
No matter what, I'm swinging.
Yeah, that shocked me. 25 games. How many do they play?
82.
Wow, so that's, Jesus Christ.
That's
a significant amount.
So, is it 25 for the first? Because I thought it was only like 10 for the first time.
So does that mean he got popped first?
I
before?
think he might have been popped already, if that's the case.
Yeah, because 25 is a pretty hefty, that's more than a fourth of the games.
That's along the lines of the Malice in the Palace suspensions. Didn't Jermaine O'Neal get like suspended like 50 games for fighting?
Yeah. Was it 50?
Artest got suspended the rest of the indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple other suspensions. Like I think Jermaine O'Neal got 25 or 50, and then Jackson got like 25 or 52.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot.
That fight was so crazy. Like, because I know, like, originally, it was Artest, right? That had, like, the first, wasn't it?
There was some stuff going on between the Pistons and the Pacers.
Yeah, it started with the players, right? They were just like bickering back and forth
And then
or whatever.
somebody threw a soda.
And so the dude threw a soda or a beer or whatever it was.
And
He throws it hit Artest, and like Artest turns around, and he swings on a dude. That's not even the dude that threw the beer because he was like 2 seats down or whatever.
He went up into the stands, hit a guy.
That was the best shit ever. And NBA needs that shit again. They need to bring that shit back because like that. First of all, as much of a black guy as you can say, like put it for the sport, like more eyes on the sport for sure. But like all these fans that are always talking shit, like, oh, you ain't gonna do shit. Like some of them, like I've heard say wild shit. Like there's one thing where you're like Spike Lee talking shit to the players or whatever. But like then you get to the point where you're yelling at them about like, oh, your wife this, your wife that. It's like you just start saying some crazy shit.
I heard Westbrook got into it with a fan or whatever, and this fan is banned indefinitely from the stadium now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know what he. Oh, that was the one who was saying. Yeah, he was saying racial stuff, like something about get back on your knees or something. Which when I heard that, they took that to like slavery. Like I thought he was saying when I first heard what he said, I was like, is he telling him to suck his dick? I don't understand what he's saying. Like get back on your knees, like. I was like, did Westbrook suck somebody's dick? Like, what are these allegations that you're screaming about? Yeah, it's kind of funny. But 25 games, dude, that's a lot.
Yeah. So now it's just the Devin Booker show.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Who else did
He's all off. He's all off. I don't even know who's on the Suns. I don't know who's on the Suns.
Who did the Suns drafted? I don't know who they drafted this past year.
Yeah. I do not know. How do you like the Mavericks this year?
It's Luka's team.
Yeah.
Kristaps is. Yeah, I want to see what Kristaps does. He hasn't played too great.
Yeah.
I think the first game he was like 6 for 17.
Yeah.
18 points, something like that. But no, it's Luka's team. Luka and Trae Young, like that trade worked for both teams.
Yeah.
They found both the guys that they both wanted. You got the Hawks with Trae Young and Luka with the Mavs.
Yeah. Who do you like better?
I think Luka's got more upside. Trae Young could be Steph Curry, I guess.
Yeah.
But Luka is more of a distributor. I think he's a little bit more unselfish, and I think Trae Young's more of a shooter than a passer.
Yeah, he definitely, because in 2 games he has like almost 80 points. So.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of look at Luka as being more of a getting everybody involved type guy.
Yeah.
But being able to still do amazing things.
Yeah.
Whereas Trae Young is just crazy with scoring. They both work.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Trae Young is he's more representative of what the NBA is now. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of what they're, and like, and I get it to a degree because it's like, that's what people want to see. Like, it's going to bring more eyes to the sport, like, for the casuals and stuff like that, bring more money in, because it's like, oh, motherfuckers are scoring 50 points a game now. Like, I remember back in the day when it was like the Lakers, when Kobe was on, I think this was like in the 2000s, and they went into overtime, maybe double, and the final score of the game was like 106 to 109 or something like that, you know? And it's like, now that's like an average game.
No, the average game, I think, is like, what, 240, 230?
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like 115, 120
that's
points.
insane.
Like, you see games that are like 90 to 85, and you're like,
what
happened?
Yeah, you're like, no one played this game.
But there are still teams that do that. Like, I think before this past year, like the Grizzlies, they were a slower paced team.
Yeah.
When you get the slower paced teams facing off against each other, not just running up and shooting the ball, running up, shooting the ball, like, you're going to have those lower scoring games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They have more set plays and stuff. There's no like fast breaks.
And I think the Spurs are more along the lines of a slower paced team, but they can ramp it up if they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting the Spurs finally have a fucking new team. It was the same like 4 players for the last 20 years.
Duncan, Ginobili, Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll still make playoffs. I mean...
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I do like their point guard, DeJounte Murray.
What do you think about defense in the NBA?
I
Because it almost seems like we're shifting towards just out offense everybody. Like, and not all teams are like that, but enough teams are like that where it's just like, how can we get more buckets than the other team?
I think a lot of people go for steals.
Yeah.
And it leaves the defense exposed and causes rotations and then easier dump offs. And
that's the thing.
When you start, if you gamble on a steal, you get put out of position. The guy drives, guy plays help defense, slides over. Next guy has to slide over. And then the 3-pointer's open.
Yeah. Like, so, because, like, and I get, like, and this is kind of why James Harden doesn't play defense. It doesn't pad any stats. There's no stats on defense unless you get a steal. And so if you only go for steals, then, you know, you leave your team.
I want to say James Harden is still up there on steal stuff, but that's because he's not really playing defense.
Yeah.
He's just trying to get steals to cause fast breaks, you know, and score.
Yeah. It's like, it's an easy way to try to get, like, double, triple doubles. And he's like, like if you're looking at your stats, and I think that's the other thing. It's like so many players are stat chasers now.
You, as far as what, like rebounds go? Okay, so here's the thing. Like last year, Westbrook, you know, he's averaged triple-double, 3 years in a row?
Yeah.
His rebounding numbers are inflated. Now, do you think he is telling, like, the bigger guys, hey, just box out, maintain your box out, don't really go for the rebound. Me and Harden will come in and grab it.
Could be.
Because that's a lot like what Grimes was saying with the NFL. Like, hey, let me just get my numbers. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the metrics and you look at Adams is, like, top-notch of boxing out. And, like, he should have this many rebounds according to his box-out rate. But his rebounding numbers are, like, 3 below what he should actually have or 5 below what he should, you know.
If we see his rebound numbers skyrocket this year, we'll know why.
He only had like 9 in the first game, but I don't know if he was playing a lot of minutes or not. You know, big men,
they get tired.
they really limit big men to like 30 minutes a game, 28.
Yeah, anymore they might die.
Yeah,
they're trying to pump blood throughout that also, especially when they're shaped like Zion. Do you have a favorite player in the NBA right now? No.
I used to be a big Shaq guy. Inside presence, Hakeem, like I watched the post, Patrick Ewing. Like to me that was the best the NBA was.
Yeah.
All the big men, David Robinson, stuff like that. And you really don't see any post game whatsoever anymore.
The only player that I love, he's probably my favorite. He probably is my favorite player. Is probably Giannis.
See, I haven't seen Giannis live. When I lived in Sacramento, I used to go to a bunch of Kings games, and the best person to watch live for me was Isaiah Thomas when he was on the Kings.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing. Like, he just pops so much more in a game.
Yeah. And
to do that at that height, it was just kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
This guy's pretty good.
That's the other thing, right? When you look at players that become coaches, it's usually small players that become the best coaches because they have to have better IQ. They can't just rely on, while they're playing, they can't just rely on their freak athleticism.
Majority of them are point guards.
Right.
If you look like Mark Jackson, point guard, and some of them were backups. Yeah. Steve Kerr, point guard, shooting guard, you know, a lot of them are smaller people. Yeah, you are right.
So you have to have a better knowledge of the game, and
it's usually the distributors.
Yeah.
Like even Luke Walton, like you take a guy like Luke Walton. Luke Walton wasn't a scorer, but he knew what to do on defense. He knew what to do on offense. He came off the bench.
Yeah.
It's understandable. He's got a high basketball IQ. It's usually those guys who get the coaching jobs. Whereas Patrick Ewing, he's been an assistant coach for 20 years now.
Yeah. He has?
He was an assistant coach when Yao Ming played on the Rockets. Then he was an assistant coach with the Kings. Like he's never gotten that opportunity to be a head coach.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
And then I think he was an assistant coach on the Magic as well.
Did you see the comments that Jordan made about Curry?
He's not a Hall of Famer yet. Nah, he is.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Dude, Jordan's the biggest hater I've ever seen in my life, dude.
Yeah, it's like, nah, he is.
If he retired today, he's going in the Hall of Fame. He was the first unanimous MVP.
He's almost broken the NBA 3-point record already.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he makes like 400 threes a year.
Yeah.
He consistently breaks his own 3-point record year after year after year. Like,
Yeah.
That's,
and on top of that, it's like he gets his teammates involved and is not selfish. Like, this dude could easily be dropping 50 points every night if he wanted to.
he's, what? He's won 2 or 3 championships.
3.
How many did he won 2 with Durant, right? And then he won the one before. They've been to
Yeah,
5. They've lost 2.
Yeah, so I think he has 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's correct.
Okay.
Because, yeah, the only...
Because
wait, Durant has 2?
Durant has 2. They
Okay.
went back to back. They tried to go back to back to back, but then Durant, Thompson,
Right.
all those guys got hurt.
Right.
And then the year they won 72 games, they lost to Cleveland, but then they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers the year before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost when they shouldn't have. Or they lost when they
They won when they shouldn't have, and they lost when they should have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we see, like, now that... It's interesting seeing... Is it weird seeing LeBron in a Lakers jersey?
You know what? I haven't watched LeBron play for the Lakers.
Yeah. It just seems weird seeing him in a Lakers jersey. It just doesn't...
It doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit.
Like Miami...
Maybe.
It fit. It did fit. And I think it's because the colors are somewhat normal,
Yeah.
but like when you put that Lakers jersey on, and that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it still seems weird. Like it still seems a little
Like
odd.
when I think of Lakers, like I think of Shaq, I think of Kobe.
Kobe.
Like it's not. I think of LeBron.
Yeah.
Like not like when you hear LeBron James, you think of Cleveland. So it is super weird to see him in a Lakers jersey.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
Yeah, it's just weird seeing him go over there because this is the first time it wasn't like a basketball decision. It was just like a...
I think it was personal.
Yeah, it was a personal decision because going to the Lakers never made any sense for LeBron, so...
It was more personal and business than it was play.
Yeah, he wanted to be in a big market team, set up the next generation, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, put his kid in a good school, play with his friends.
Yeah.
Because I think Zaire Wade transferred over there.
They both did, yeah, right after.
So is Wade living in LA right now, or is he still in Miami?
Yeah. And also, nobody wants to live in Cleveland, so...
Well, that's the thing. Like, LeBron could have an easier time recruiting people playing for LA than he could playing for Cleveland. A lot of people didn't want to go to Cleveland.
Nobody trying to play in Cleveland.
Baker Mayfield.
That's wild, yeah. Just him. He's the only one. Yeah. Odell's over there and, like...
You don't hear anything about Odell anymore.
Yeah.
He went from one of the biggest markets in football to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than him getting fined every game. But it's like, for wearing, like, a watch or something like that.
Oh, he has been getting fined for all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So outside of that, but, like...
The companies that he's wearing these watches for and stuff like that, they're probably paying it, though.
Exactly, yeah. You'll get the... Because he wouldn't just keep wearing it if you keep getting... money taken out of his account or whatever, so somebody else is definitely paying for him to wear that. On top of paying the fine and paying him to wear that, so. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, how's Baker looked the last few games?
Terrible.
So, okay. So so say you're looking at NFL playoff picture right now. Who's looking strong to make it through to the AFC and NFC championships right now?
Patriots?
Would it be Pat's?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the other team.
Yeah.
None of them, I would have said the Chiefs, but with Mahomes.
Yeah.
It opens the gate for a lot more other teams.
Yeah.
The Ravens can turn it up. Like, the Ravens might go in. You could see the Chiefs in if Mahomes comes back healthy. The Colts have been actually super surprising.
Yeah.
So, and then the NFC is just a crapshoot. Like, you look at the records and you say, "Oh, Niners, Packers." Like, they both have good records.
I don't think the Niners are making it through. No, I
But
think Niners getting.
even the Packers have a lot of deficiencies.
If Niners make it, I say Niners lose the first game of the playoffs.
And then you take a team like the Saints that are doing all this with a backup quarterback.
So
there's so many deficiencies within the NFC that it's like, well, like you look at talent wise.
Someone's gonna step up, but like, yeah, you don't know who it's gonna be, where it's gonna come from.
Talent wise and health wise, the Cowboys are probably the strongest team in the NFC.
Yeah, when they have their shit together, that's a scary team.
Yeah, but it's getting their and that's a deficiency for them. They don't play consistent.
Yeah.
Whereas the Packers have been playing consistent, but you kind of like, is it going to last?
Right. Yeah.
Because you do see the deficiencies that they may have.
Right. Well, that's the thing with the Packers. Every year, regardless, it's always like Aaron Rodgers has to do everything, and that's just how they play. They don't, you know what I mean? The system is just run through him, and it's just like, yo, make something happen. And so
you also have a team like the Rams that haven't caught fire. Yeah. And if they catch fire, it's going to be a scary team.
Yeah, especially that they built up their defense.
They have Jalen Ramsey back. They have, Aaron Donald, their defense. Clay Matthews, when he comes back from the broken jaw, stuff like that. If they get their crap together, that's a scary team.
Yeah. And then at the same time, like, I think Seattle is a really sneaky, scary team that people aren't paying too much attention to. I mean, they did just lose to the Ravens pretty badly, but like when Seattle's that one team that kind of just slides on in that you're not really paying attention to. Like, they start getting stronger and stronger as the year progresses, and then towards like they all like I haven't seen them not make playoffs in a while. I feel like
if I'm a playoff team and I'm looking, I want to face the Niners.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think that streak's going to run out.
If you have a decent defense and a solid offense, I think that you can easily beat the Niners in the playoffs.
Yeah. And they'll probably win the number one spot for the NFC.
I could see the Niners going on a bad losing streak here soon.
Yeah.
And then it'd be just done.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their schedule, but they as far as their schedule goes, they still really they almost lost to the Redskins.
That's pretty bad, yeah.
They scored 9 points.
Yeah.
And the Redskins are granted the field conditions were bad, but still.
Yeah.
No, their defense. The NFC is wide open.
It is,
in my opinion, just because the Saints are doing all this with a backup quarterback. It's shocking to see how well their defense has performed. And then who else do you got in that division? You got the Packers who are in the lead. They're 6-1.
Yeah.
You got the Cowboys leading the East, and then you have the Niners, and then you have the Rams. So right there, there's those 5 teams. The Bears' defense is probably still good, so you can see them creep back up into the playoff picture.
Maybe. Yeah.
Overall, I just think the Cowboys are the
out of everyone that you just named. If everyone plays to their full potential, I think Cowboys are the.
And that's just because of the injury that, I would say the Saints, but because Drew Brees.
He's back this week, though.
But you don't know if he's going to be healthy.
So they said that. So they go 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater, undefeated with Bridgewater. Did a great job. He had a great passer rating.
I don't think Brees is playing this week, though.
I thought they said he was.
I picked up Bridgewater in my other
for week. This week. Yeah, I think they just named Brees the starter this week.
Mahomes is certain I didn't have a backup.
Yeah, they. I'm pretty sure they just named Brees the starter this week, so they're gonna play him. So he's first game back from his thumb tear, or whatever he had. I mean, you have to play Brees, right? Like if you're.
Bridgewater will go somewhere else after the offseason.
He's about to get a contract.
He's gonna get a 1-year, 2-year contract. Nice little payday.
He'll get a nice payday, especially for what he did.
Depending on how he performs with that new team, it will probably be his last payday.
Yeah.
One more topic. Do you think the Falcons should rebuild?
Something's not working.
They're losing 17-0 to the Seahawks right now.
Oh wow.
What do you think needs to change?
Well, now they have a 2nd round pick. So, I think Matt Ryan's trash. And I haven't really paid attention to their defense, so I don't know what they look like on the defensive side of the ball. I know they have weapons. I don't know what's going on.
So
is it like is it an OC problem? Is it play calling?
Because Kyle Shanahan used to be the OC when they went to the Super Bowl, and then now he's the Niners head coach.
Yeah, and now they're undefeated. So it could be something with that. I can't.
Or do you just think Matt Ryan has all of a sudden turned into Joe Flacco?
No, I think that definitely is a problem too. I think it's both. I think losing a good OC mixed with your quarterback having consistently. I mean, that's the weird thing is like he has his. If you look at all his passing yards, he has great numbers passing wise. Like he has like one of the highest yards passing in the NFL. It's just something's not clicking, and I just don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It is super weird because you look at their numbers, you look at their roster, you're like, how are they 1-6?
Yeah.
The only game they won, they beat the Eagles. And they only score like 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Like maybe even under that. It's crazy because I'm like, how? Like you have the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, you have a good complementary receiver next to him. Ridley.
You had two.
And you had two.
Yeah.
You had a deep receiving depth. You have a good running back. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're gonna.
I think someone's getting fired.
The coach is for sure,
Yeah.
but I think they also probably might try and go with the rebuild.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of teams are doing that right now.
Yeah. And well, I mean, granted, the Cowboys won last week, but I was like, oh, is Jason Garrett gonna get fired? It's like,
please.
Apparently not. Apparently that guy is gonna stay.
Dude, the Cowboys have Cowboys fans if you go on to any type of
they've been screaming for him to get fired.
Fire him! Fire Garrett.
Dude, Jerry Jones will not fire anybody. He loves people too much. He keeps everybody around.
He fired Wade Phillips pretty fast. Rex Cable, whoever, Tom Cable, whatever the other coach was. He's not afraid to, but I think just because he doesn't really speak up that much in the media, that he's like, cool. Like
the other thing that I heard about Garrett, though, is like Garrett's one of those guys where, like, the people that got fired before him were people that were like, yo, this is my team, I'm going to run it. And Garrett's one of those guys that's like, yeah, whatever. You want me to do what? Okay, let's do it.
He's a yes, sir type guy.
Yeah.
And it also is probably a good thing that he's related to Jerry Jones. There's whatever.
Yeah.
But it's funny, when Jason Garrett was still playing, when Garrett was dating his daughter, he shipped him out of town and then he came back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, thinking that it would, hey, he's not going to date my daughter, but then it progressed to, hey, we're marrying, and then Garrett was back.
Yeah.
As the backup, so.
That's pretty funny.
I think he went to Arizona for a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that'll keep you around if you're...
Marry the boss's daughter.
Yeah. Dude, is there more of a... If you're a coach, like whatever, like college or NFL, and then you have somebody on the team that, like, your daughter's dating, like, you know how much I would want to scream at my daughter and be like, yo, I'm trying to get these players to respect me and, like, listen to what the fuck I have to say, and you out here, like, just fucking one of the players, and now he's like, oh, what are you gonna say, bro? I'm fucking your daughter? Like, he has no... Like, come on, son. Like, I am pissed at my daughter.
You have the ultimate comeback.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So disrespectful.
Oh, dude, what do you think holidays are like at the Jones household?
Oh, man. But at least Jason Garrett's white, so, I mean...
What does that have to do with it?
Jerry Jones, they're like the same dude. I don't know.
You just think Jerry Jones is an old racist man?
Probably. I think they all probably are, to some degree.
I guess that's why they call him owners.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that's probably it for this week.
Yep. Take it easy, guys.
Yep, we'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.